a dog that has really horrific skin conditions that we would term as allergies. And we've all seen, or at least seen pictures of a pet that has this. So just real quickly, I'm going to go over the agenda so you know what to expect. I'm going to start with my story, why I'm here talking to you about this. We're going to talk about the many health issues that are plaguing our pets right now. What are allergies? Because it means different things than I think we think it does. Gut health and why that is so important. The largest elimination organ of the body and why that's important. We're going to talk about food as medicine, over-vaccination, toxic pesticides, stress, and then we're going to talk about better options with natural products and how to get started, what you can expect from me with some of the products that we talk about. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is my story. These 5 pups are all rescues. They were all foster fails. They all had serious medical conditions. And I happily have been able to help them with their health. So my name is Sherry Willingham, and I love animals. I will stop in the middle of a road or a river or anywhere if I see any type of animal in need. And I somehow started coming across these medical rescue dogs, and I was able to help them regain their health. The first one was Barney, and he's the shepherd here next to Santa. And he came to me emaciated. He had ear infections, skin infections, diarrhea, and this was pretty much ongoing for the first year. And it broke my heart because it seemed like no matter what I did and what the vet did, it didn't get better. And he suffered, and it made me feel like the worst pet parent in the world. And when I figured out what I needed to do to help him feel healthy, feel good, feel energetic, not be, you know, itching himself like it was a, you know, taking over his whole body, our lives just became so much better. And so that's why I'm here talking to you about what I learned. I'm still learning, and every time I do one of these classes, I learn more. But knowledge is power, and all of us want what's best for our animals, and we can only do what we know. I don't have any professional training. I have a bachelor's degree in business, but my heart is in helping people and helping pets. And so conveying this information to you so that you can do your own research and you can perhaps look at things differently so that you can help your animals live healthier and happier and longer, because that's what we all want, right? Everybody wants them to stay around as long as possible. All right, so Barney, the 3 at the bottom, Barney, Ozzy, and Tinkerbell all have their wings. They're all up in heaven. And Victor and Jenny are my current rescues. So there's a lot of health issues that our pets are dealing with. You can see there's a long list here. I spend a lot of time on different pet sites, whether it's health or just groups of animals. And I see so much disease and struggling with these different issues. And the one that I see the most across the board are skin infections. But I also see a lot of the gut issues, allergies that really can be connected to the skin issues, cancer, and seizures. So what I'm going to talk about will perhaps help lessen the issues that cause these problems. And that's what we want. We want them around as long as possible. And if you agree, say yay. And if you guys have a question or a comment, please unmute yourself and jump in. So one of the things that as a society, we really like to have things immediately. We don't want to do a lot of work if we don't have to. That's why there's fast food and stuff like that. But when it comes to health, when it comes to our pets who are having, horrible skin issues, there is no magic bullet. So people will say, oh, just put fish oil in their food or rub coconut oil on their skin. That doesn't work. The same way that going to the doctor and getting a pill or a shot doesn't work, because it's dealing with the symptom. It's not getting to the root of the cause. And until we get to the root of the cause of the problem, we're just going to be spinning our wheels. And I want you guys to think of something that struck me when I heard it. If we're having skin issues, right? Our skin is where everything comes out of the body. There's toxins in the body, they come out through our skin, and so we have skin issues. If our skin has a rash or bumps or red or itchy, you can only imagine how much inflammation is inside the body. And that's what I want you to think about, is the inflammation inside the body is what needs to be dealt with so that the skin is no longer showing it in the rashes and the itching and so forth. Okay, so there's different types of allergies, and all of this applies to people and pets. So if you have allergies, you might relate to this as well. So there could be an allergy to pets. For instance, a dog could be allergic to cats. Dust mites, pollen, mold, vaccines are a big one. Drugs are a big one. Sun allergy, food allergy, chemicals, and viruses. So what I want you to think about is all of this stuff is around us all the time. And the only time it's a problem is when you have a weakened immune system. And that's what we're dealing with when our pets are having issues with skin or ear infections and so on. So a strong immune system doesn't have a reaction to these things that can cause an allergy. And again, that's the same in people. So there's a difference between a real allergy and a food sensitivity. And that's an important distinction that we need to make. So a real allergy is going to cause the ear infections, the yeast, the bacterial skin, the hot spots, you know, the paws and eyes, and the different problems with the red skin. Food sensitivity is going to be more of a GI problem as far as diarrhea, IBS, and so two different things. And so those both need to be taken into consideration when you're looking at allergies. Okay, so this is where I kind of started my journey years ago with my own health, and it ties into what we're talking about right now with our pets. So this is from a vet's office. And what I learned a long time ago is that the medical community is taught to treat illness. What I'm trying to do is promote healing, and they're two completely different things. So this is what would happen if you were to go to this vet. They would talk to you about bathing with a special shampoo. I did that a lot. We did a lot of bathing. Supplements, the omega-3 fatty acids. We all know about adding fish oil to our pets' food. We also know for people, it's a really good thing to do. And then the last thing is the medication. And this is the one that's scary. This is the one that I really am wanting you to know that there are things you can do so that you don't have to give those medications. These are immunosuppressants, which means that the medicine is telling the immune system not to respond to the thing that the allergic reaction is to. But when you do that, it also shuts off the immune system so that it can do things like fight cancer. So staying away from those immunosuppressants like Apoquel, Cytopoint, and then antihistamines. These are all synthetic chemicals, and they treat a symptom, but they do other things in the body that we don't want them to do. So as I was going through the information, I just wanted to see what's going on with Apoquel, because I see the commercials and I see them show this owner on a green lawn with a cute little pug puppy, and they say, Apoquel is your pet's next best friend. And I know the problems with Apoquel, and if people knew what the side effects were, they wouldn't think it was their pet's best friend. But I always want to go back to the money. What's going on with the money that's being made by these products? And so this is Zoetis, the maker of Apoquel. This is from their website. This isn't somebody just offhandedly saying this. This is from their website. So for the third quarter of 2020, their companion animal business with parasiticides, vaccines, key dermatology products, which is Apoquel and Cytopoint. The revenue in the US segment was $996 million. The revenue. That's an increase of 18% compared to the third quarter of 2019. So that tells me why they have these great commercials saying how great this is for your animal. And most of the time when an animal takes the medication, it works pretty quickly, but the side effects and when they stop taking it are disastrous. All right, so now we're going to talk about gut health. And I don't know if you've heard this or not, it says it here that our gut is our second brain. We have bacteria in our gut. We have good bacteria and bad bacteria. We want there to be more good bacteria than bad bacteria, because if the bad bacteria overwhelms it, then that's when you're going to have problems. A good portion of the body's immune system is found in the digestive tract. So it's really important to have good gut health, good gut bacteria. And I was just listening to a vet who, I believe she's in Sweden, and she was talking about how the microbiome, the bacteria, or the cells, if you will, in the gut outnumber the number of cells in the body. And they have so many different jobs, but without having enough of the good bacteria in the gut, the body is not able to fend off illness. So it's really, really important to make sure that we have good gut health. And I'm going to talk about how we do that. And again, this is for people and pets. So as I'm going through this, I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to do? So here's some of the symptoms of an unhealthy gut. Obviously, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, we know that, food sensitivity. But also it affects our brain. It affects our pet's brain. It can cause a foggy brain, mood swings, depression, headaches, skin problems. And skin problems are a reflection of what's going on in the gut. And it also is related to autoimmune disease. Again, we're talking about healthy gut is a strong immune system. And that's what we want to focus on, is the strong immune system. So here, this shows on the left in the blue, the normal immune system. It's rich, it's balanced, it's happy. But on the right, if you have a poor, unbalanced bacterial community, which means that there's more bad bacteria than good bacteria, you're going to have a weakened immune system, and you're going to have issues like autoimmune disorders, allergies, and metabolic disorders. So these are the different excretory organs. This is where the toxins are removed from the body. And these are the organs that are most affected when there's inflammation in the body and the body's trying to get rid of the inflammation. It's going to be the skin, which is the largest organ, the largest excretory organ of the body, the lungs, and then of course the liver and kidneys are the filtering organs. And we're always worried when we put toxins into our body like NSAIDs or other medications, what the effect is going to be on the liver and kidneys, because they're the ones that have to do all the work of trying to get the synthetic chemicals out of the body. So, anatomy of the skin. And the reason I put this in here is because when we're dealing with these skin issues, we want to know where the issue is, right? The epidermis is the top layer This is where the dead skin cells are. It refreshes, you know, every week or so. And then there's the dermis. And it's the dermis where all of the nutrients are for the skin. So when we're having issues with the skin, we want to figure out a way to get healing chemicals or healing products down to the dermis. And then the final layer is the hypodermis is the fat. It's the cushion between the organs or the bones and the outer skin. Okay, so this is just talking some more about the epidermis. Oh, it's 28 days for it to replace the dead cells. And then the dermis. So I just wanted you to see right here is where we want to get the healing from the outside. We want to get the healing products into the skin because that's where the nutrients are. The top layer is pretty much dead skin cells. All right. Do we have any questions? Whoops. Because I'm not able to see you guys and I don't like that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see you. Another, okay, so are you guys with me?
Yes.
Is this making sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to talk about what causes the inflammation, because we can't do anything about reducing the inflammation if we don't know what causes it. And I just want you to know that every single one of these things that I'm talking about not doing are things that I have done. So it's all just a learning process. All right. So the very first thing and the first thing I always talk to people about when we're talking about pets is their food, always, because food is the thing that they get every day. It directly affects the gut and the gut health.
You don't want it?
And it's the one thing that I think we haven't gotten a lot of good information on, based on the pet food industry wanting us to buy their food and feed it to our animals. All right, so same with people. Food has the power to heal. It can help prevent and treat many chronic diseases. If we go to our doctor is not likely to tell us that we need to eat more processed foods. Our doctor should tell us that we need to eat more fresh whole foods. It's better for our bodies. It's better for our skin. It's better for our brain, all of those things. But for some reason, in the veterinary world, we, the pet parents, are told that our animals should eat more processed food and less fresh food because fresh food can be dangerous. And I kind of flipped by it, but there was that The Pet Fooled is a documentary. It's a 1-hour documentary that changed completely everything for my animals. It made me look at pet food packages, marketing, labels differently. It made me reevaluate what I was feeding my animals, and it made me start thinking about how important fresh food is for their health. And what I can tell you, and the reason that I'm so passionate about this, is because for 5 years, we struggled with ear infections, gut issues, skin issues, coat issues, whole areas of the body that didn't have fur. And within 2 weeks of feeding fresh food, it was a noticeable improvement. And for probably 2.5 years before Barney died, he never had another skin issue. So the proof is in the pudding. You look at them, we know our pets better than anyone else. We know when they're doing good, we know when they're doing bad. And the health improvement from the fresh food alone was remarkable. So I always, when we're dealing with issues with illness with pets, I always ask, what are you feeding? And then please watch Pet Fooled, because they explain it way better than I do. And it'll just give you something to think about, how you want to feed your animals. This is an interesting study. They fed kibble to pregnant dogs and their puppies, and those puppies had an increased chance of developing allergies. But the puppies that were fed fresh food, there was a decrease in the risk of developing allergies. And that all has to do with the gut biome, because when the gut is healthy, the immune system's healthy, the allergies aren't going to happen. And so I'm really, really passionate about asking pet parents to do their own research about fresh food. And then the other thing, people will say they'll get sick. There's salmonella, there's E. coli, there's, all of these pathogens that could make them sick if you feed them a raw food diet or a whole food diet. And what I say to that is our dogs and cats are carnivores. Their bodies are different from ours. Their digestive tracts are different from ours. The pH level in their stomach is different, and they eat poop. They don't get sick, and there's a reason for that, because their bodies, their digestive systems are designed to be able to process things that our digestive systems would never be able to handle. All right, so food is really, really big one in terms of creating inflammation that causes ill health or allergies. We talk about if you can't or don't want to feed a raw or a fresh food diet, there's things that you can add. So it's not a one size fits all, but it's just really important to get those proper nutrients into our animals. The next thing that is really taxing on our animals' immune system and can create a lot of issues with the immune system are the vaccinations. And we don't talk about anti-vax. We talk about responsible vax. So just knowing that that there are certain vaccinations that are important to have, and also realizing that there is a longevity from these vaccinations that can be anywhere from 7 to 15 years. So getting the annual booster is just assaulting your animal with toxins every year that are unnecessary. It's really important to know what kinds of things are in the vaccinations. These are things that are not going to be on the label because the vaccination makers, the pharmaceutical companies that make the vaccinations, call these proprietary blends, so they don't have to list the ingredients. But in fact, there are all kinds of ingredients in there that are just so stressful on the immune system and can cause all kinds of issues with illness, even seizure. So one of the things for people who don't know is that vaccinations are not volume by size. There's one vaccination, and regardless of how big or small your animal is, they're going to get the same amount of the vaccination. And especially for people who have the little teacup animals, that's really scary. Just real quickly, I want you to see the list of potential adverse reactions to the rabies vaccine, but it's also to other vaccinations. It's scary. Allergic reaction, seizures, vomiting, diarrhea. The body is being assaulted by something, and especially if they've already had the vaccination, their body has a proper level of immunity, so they don't need more of it. The less we can introduce toxins into their body, the stronger their immune system, the less inflammation they're going to have, the less likely they're going to have allergies. And then just because I see so many heartbreaking stories of pets who are injured because of something like this, where the inserts for the vaccinations state that only healthy dogs are to be vaccinated. And so if your pet has any type of issue, which includes skin issues, that means that his body is fighting something, and getting a vaccination is just going to be like throwing gas on a fire. So I am really big on being my pet's advocate when we do go to the vet. And so I say no to a lot of things that they want me to do, but it's important to me that they don't have toxins introduced to their body that are unnecessary. So here's the vaccination safety. I did a whole hour on vaccinations, but this is just real briefly: only vaccinate healthy pets. Revaccination should be a decision that you and your veterinarian make together. It doesn't have to be one where you're told that you need to do this. These vaccines can produce immediate reactions of anaphylaxis. And for whatever reason, vets don't agree that there can be reactions to them. But the inserts even say that they can. So just know that the reactions and the side effects are real. Puppies and kittens get maternal antibodies from their mothers. And if a puppy or a kitten gets a vaccination during the time that they're developing antibodies from exposure to the mother or the mother's milk, they will cancel each other out and can cause real illness in the animal. So that's something to be aware of when you have a really young animal and you're talking about getting the vaccinations. And then titer testing is becoming more and more available. And what's great about Dr. Rob and Protect the Pets organization is that it costs less money to get the titer testing than it does to get the vaccinations. And once your pet has been vaccinated, and this includes rabies as well, their level of immunity is good for, like I said, 7 to 15 years. So it's unlikely that they need to be vaccinated again once they've had their shots when they're younger. All right, so then we have the pesticides. We have the heartworm, the flea, tick, and mosquitoes. So when you go out into the wild and you see these animals, you know, the coyotes, the hyenas, the wolves, have you ever seen one running around that is decimated by these critters, the ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes? The only ones that you're going to see that have that problem are the ones that are really, really sick, because a strong immune system makes our animals an unattractive host for these pests. So this is another advantage to having a strong immune system, is to not be an attractive host to these pests. But also the toxins in these products assault the immune system. This is just a graphic of what happens when our animal either eats one of the pills or has the topical applied between their shoulders. It goes into the bloodstream. It settles into the tissue, the muscle tissue of the animal. And it's not until the flea or the tick or the mosquito actually bites your animal that they then get the poison and it kills them. So we're giving them these products thinking that it's going to keep them from being bitten by these, you know, the tick that gives Lyme or whatever, when in fact that's not true. They have to be bitten and ingest the toxin in order for the pests to be killed. So that's another reason to try and find an alternative to that. This just, you know, you go into the vet's office, and this is one of the perks for the people that work there, is they get free stuff. And so I have a good friend that is a vet tech, and in my group I asked, you know, who uses this stuff, and her response was, oh, I'm lucky I still get it for free. And I'm thinking, I don't know why you think you're lucky that you can give your boy poison for free, but it's a a thought process. It's a mentality in the vet offices that these are good things. All right. Important to know that the FDA issued a warning in September of 2018 that these products have been linked to neurological issues, including death. And they were forced to do that because of all of the animals that have been harmed by these products. But they weren't willing to remove the products from the market. They only issued that warning, and that warning has not been disseminated. I even asked my vet about it, and he said, I've been doing this for 25 years and I've never seen an animal injured. Yes, nutritional yeast is good. Sorry, I'm just seeing these. Blue is breaking out. Okay, so yeah, hopefully this will help start to narrow things down. Yes, actually they don't take a whole semester. They take a class. It's a 3-day class, and it's taught by the pet food representatives. It's a scary, scary thing. Okay, so lots of potential side effects from these products. In addition to the potential side effects, it's stressing the immune system, which means that it's stressing the gut health. It's all tied together. Not just the chewables or the topicals. We also want to be concerned about the toxins that are on the lawns, right? Because they walk in it, it absorbs through their paw pads, goes straight into their bloodstream, into their organs. So it's essentially the same thing. And then here's some symptoms of the pesticide poisoning, all kinds of stuff, skin irritation, diarrhea, seizures. It's scary. All right. So the next one has to do with stress, and stress can be emotional stress or it can be physical stress. So the lymphocytes fight the bacterial infections, the B lymphocytes, and then the T lymphocytes attack cancer cells and viruses, and the macrophages ingest foreign substances. But during stress, the energy in the body is mobilized away from the immune system, and that's what makes it vulnerable. So reducing stress, reducing toxic stress or toxic load stress, reducing emotional stress is so important for our overall health. All right. These are some of the resulting conditions from stress. Anything from cancer, depression, skin issues, heart, PTSD, asthma. It's all tied together. Some of the causes of emotional stress for our animals are fear. So if we have a pup that is afraid of new things or loud noises, that can be a source of stress. Separation anxiety, 20 to 40% of dogs that are seen by a vet suffer from separation anxiety. And they can exhibit all kinds of different I can't think of the word. Anyway, and then age. As they age, they can have different types of things that cause them stress. So just being aware of that and doing what we can to reduce and then the toxins that we talked about is another cause of stress. And Kristen, yes, we are going to talk about probiotics because that is one of the most important things. They now have a test that can detect cancer, 2 types, lymphoma and hemangiosarcoma. Is that new, Kay? Because when Barney was tested 2 years ago, they said they think it's lymphoma, but they would have to do a special test to find out which kind of lymphoma it was, which at that point it didn't matter. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about how we can holistically help our animals with their allergies. And just like with the medications, there's no one size fits all, but we can start at the top and go down and check off different things to see how we can help. So prebiotic versus probiotic. The prebiotic feeds the good bacteria that's already there, and the probiotic creates the new bacteria in your dog's gut. So it's helpful for their gut health to have a prebiotic and a probiotic, especially if they're having issues. Digestive enzymes are another thing that are really important. And again, we're talking about, oh, thank you. I'll take a look at that. We're talking about people and pets. In these regards, we're the same. So the digestive enzymes help with the food digestion and also the absorption. So when you're giving them the fresh food, the digestive enzyme helps break it down so that they get even more of the nutrients. That helps with the immune system. I don't know that it helps with the habit of stool eating. I think that can be a different thing altogether. It helps decrease the degenerative diseases because it's reducing the inflammation. Hypothyroidism, Barney was diagnosed with a thyroid disease. He was put on thyroid medication. His blood was tested in Michigan at some special lab, and he still continued to have the skin issues. Once I started feeding him fresh food, he never had another skin issue again. So I'm not really sure that there's as much thyroid disease as we're being told. It helps increase the cancer fighting cells, promotes weight loss. So the digestive enzymes do all kinds of good things for the gut in addition to the pro and prebiotics. Okay, so when we have an animal that has allergies where they're itching and they have this systemic cringing type of itching, they need to have some sort of antihistamine to stop that histamine response in their body. And what I have found to be effective, what I use for myself and my pets, is this natural antihistamine, which is a combination of lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And it works fast, it's effective, and there are no side effects. So in addition to the food, reducing the toxins, I also use essential oils for myself and my pets. And the three things about essential oils that I love is that they are 100% natural, they're safe, they have no side effects because they're extracts from plants. God gave us really everything that we need. And so going back to nature, we can use this stuff and not have the side effects and have something that supports our body. It supports our health, and it's not just suppressing the symptoms. The essential oils are effective because they're natural and they can actually permeate the cell wall. So for instance, when I have some sort of virus and the doctor says, well, there's nothing I can give you, you just need to go home and, you know, let it run its course. I have these amazing natural products that my body knows are not synthetic, so it's not fighting against them. And the size of the molecules in the essential oils are small enough that they can permeate these cell walls and get in there and help the body get rid of these problem viruses or bacteria. And then the essential oils are also affordable. They're really pennies per dose. Yeah, frankincense is one of the ones that we love for skin issues because it gets down to the dermal layer to help help with the healing from the inside. So the essential oils are so concentrated that the serving size is 1 drop. But with our pets, because they're smaller and their metabolisms and everything is different from ours, we're really big on diluting the essential oils for them. So they actually last a lot longer with our pets than they do with us. And I can tell you that I love having them because whenever something comes up, whether it's some sort of abrasion or cut on the pets, some sort of ear issue or mouth issue, I don't have to go to the vet for it. I have everything I need at home. So it saves a vet office visit, loading up the car. Oh, you have, hold on. Oh, you're diffusing frankincense and On Guard? That's awesome. So there's 3 ways that we use the essential oils. We use them aromatically. Let's see. Where did Crescent go?
I'm here.
Oh, there. Oh, okay. This thing keeps moving around on me. Okay, so they're used aromatically, which is just simply opening the bottle and smelling it, which we can do with our animals. Just put the bottle in front of their face and waft it in front of their nose, or a diffuser like you were talking about. Topically, this is where we would take one of the oils or oil blends diluted and apply it to the skin. This is one of the things that I did when Barney did have hot spots is I would make a blend of the essential oils with aloe vera juice, not with an oil, because with the hot spot, it's already moist. You want it to stay dry. And so by using the essential oils in the aloe vera juice, it was able to help with healing the hot spot and keeping it dry. So that's a topical use. And then internally, we can use our essential oils internally. We can use them internally with the dogs, used very carefully, because again, dilution is really important. And so we kind of talked about this. The essential oils are just extracts from plants. They're all the different parts of the plants. When the plant is in nature, it has all of these natural protections against the environment, whether it's pests or mold, fungus, all of those things. The essential oils in the plant protects that plant against. And so we use all of those properties of the essential oils. So we use them because they work, they're safe, and they have no side effects. All right, so aromatically, with the animals, we want to be mindful when we diffuse them, that the animal has a way to leave the room in case they don't care for it. When we're diffusing a new oil, we want to keep an eye on the animal for the first 20 minutes, just to make sure that they are not disliking it. Let's see. Some people like to do the self-selection with the oils. So if you have lavender and balance, which is our grounding blend, you could hold up the bottles with the caps on and let your animal tell you if they like it or they don't like it. My pups don't get that option, because if I have the oils out, it's for a reason. So if they have an upset tummy, I'm going to rub the digestive blend on their stomach. The first couple times they didn't know what I was doing or like it. Now they let me do it because they know I'm not going to hurt them, and it's, you know, it's going to make them feel better. But some people subscribe to the self-selection. I say mom knows best. And we do what we know that they need. And then again, dilution is so important. When I am talking to people about using the essential oils for their pets, it's the thing that I stress the most. The other thing is that if you're using more, you're wasting it. They only need a certain amount for it to be effective. And so that's another reason to dilute for them. So this is different ways that you can apply it topically. Along the spine, when you pet backwards, so you're going up from the tail to the neck, that's one way that you can apply it topically, a massage. Or you can do reflexology points on the back paws. I like to do ear tipping with my shepherd. She's got those big ears, and I just have it on my hand and I just wipe the tips of her ears. It's gonna absorb through the skin and go into her bloodstream. So that's an effective way to do it. You can put it in the shampoo, a spray bottle. You can put it on compresses. I've done that before when there's something going on with the eye. You can get a washcloth, wet it, put a drop of essential oil in the water that you wet it, and then hold it over the area. Whoops. Okay. This again shows the skin and just explains that diluting the essential oil helps it last longer. It actually absorbs through the skin more slowly. So that's another reason to dilute. Diffusing, we talked about that. So for itchy skin, we have 2 different starter kits. One is the small set of the lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And then it comes also with the probiotic and the digestive enzyme. So Creston, you were asking about the probiotic. The PB Assist has the prebiotic and the probiotic together. A lot of the probiotics on the market do not have both. So that's good. And I do give that to my dogs. I also take it myself. And then the Terrazyme is the digestive enzyme. I give that to the dogs and I take that myself. For people who want to get started now, this kit comes with either a flea spray or a digestive blend spray. And then there's a larger kit that has the big bottles of the lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And these can be given either internally for the bigger dogs, or they can be applied topically in a dilution on the paw pads. And it works as an antihistamine. So if they're itching, it's really going to help calm that sensation down. And then the lavender is a really good topical application if they have an area that's itching. Like Creston, you were saying that Blue has a rash, I think. So the lavender
Yeah,
would be good.
he's breaking out all over his body. The
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah. So we can talk about that, but the combination of lavender and frankincense and maybe myrrh to help with the rash, and then the lemon, lavender, and peppermint as the antihistamine.
Okay, I think I need to get some myrrh then. I don't think I have that one.
Okay. And then with this kit, for anyone who wants to get started with this, and I'm going to do this kit for the next 3 days, because I know there's a lot of people who aren't able to get on the live broadcast. This one comes with a free flea spray and a free digestive spray. And I find that the digestive blend is one that I use a lot. So what can you expect from me when we get started is a private consultation to determine what's best for you and your family. We do a follow-up consultation when you receive your products, and a welcome package with some extra goodies to help you use your products. You have access to private Facebook groups and additional education, and then my continued support. So I know you, I know your animals, I care about you and your animals, and I'm here to help you navigate figuring out, if that doesn't work, what can we try next? Because we want them to feel good, because that makes you feel good. All right, so people who are looking for a natural solution, there's usually 3 types of people. There's some people who learn the stuff that I talk about and they get really excited and they want to figure out how to use it for themselves and their family. And then there's other people who are like I was, who hear about this stuff and they say, oh my gosh, I have to tell my family and friends because everybody needs to know that there's options out there besides just going to the doctor or the vet. And if you're one of those people, we need to talk because I can help you get your oils paid for. And then the third one is somebody who wants to use this as an opportunity to make an income. You know, there's so much craziness going on in the world right now. People are looking for ways to make money from home. And so if this is something that you want to know more about, please let me know and I'm happy to give you more information. All right, some of the questions that you may have. If you do want to know more, how much money can you make? How much time is involved? And so again, let me know if you want more information on this. I'm really happy to talk to you about that. This is some of the information on the income potential. And I know that we love our products, and it's nice to be able to have an income stream that really helps support the family during these times. All right, so now what? First, I want to thank you for joining me, for your patience in getting this set up. I apologize for that, but I want to thank you for investing this time in learning about ways that you can help your pets. I want to encourage you to do your own research. Don't take my word for it. My experience is my experience, and there are other people out there who have had similar or different experiences. So, you know, I encourage you to do your own research and also search out other groups that that talk about these things. If you don't already have a holistic practitioner, I recommend that you try and find one. And also go with your gut. You know, we have instincts and intuition, and we know our animals better than anyone else. So I just want to encourage you to listen to that if there's something that doesn't feel right. Of course, enjoy every day with your furry friends. We can't help but do that. They make life so much better. And then message me so that you can set up a time that you can get started. I have a couple hours tonight, and it's first come, first serve. So if you have questions for me, you want to get started, you can put that in the message. So Kay is saying that some dogs had severe oral warts. Oh, that's dreadful. Yeah. So, so Kay, your girl is good. She's feeling okay. I'm gonna stop. There we go.